All right, so I have subjected you to 5 Steve Guttenberg classics so far today.
I'm glad it's finally over.
Yeah, I've made you watch 5 VHSs. I'm not going to make you do any more. No more
this torture.
VHSs. We're going to switch to DVD. For our 6th Guttenberg movie of the day, The Tower of Terror.
I have no lines.
All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Disney's The Tower of Terror. 1997's The Wonderful World of Disney's The Tower of Terror. Lee, had you seen it before?
I don't think so. I might have. This might have been on TV or something.
You missed a Guttenberg classic?
Apparently, yes.
Oh my God! This was the first time I saw it. It was on like over the summertime on Channel 7. It was like Disney movies, and I think they were like first time appearing, blah 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 blah, some bullshit. And there was like a lot of just like good crap, like things we were like, oh, I've never seen that again.
Yeah.
Like
it's a TV movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think technically it was originally a TV show or miniseries or something.
It is listed on the internet very strangely, like there was a show called The Wonderful World of Disney, which had like thousands of episodes or something. I don't know if that's accurate or how this works.
Maybe.
But like, whatever.
That might have been the thing I'm talking about. It was on like Sunday nights or something like that, or Saturday nights, some bullshit over the weekends in the summertime, and every Wednesday would be a thing. But this movie in particular had a special place in my heart then. I would say I went into this like rewatch of like, oh man, that thing's great. Oh, so good. Steve Guttenberg, Kirsten Dunst. Oh,
all right,
can't fail. I'll say
How'd it go?
I was slightly underwhelmed, but it's definitely a nostalgia trip. Like it's a fun movie. I don't know if it has the same power if it's your first time that it might have if it's a nostalgia watch.
I think it was my first time. I'm nostalgic for similar things, but I'm an adult, and like I found this to be like painful for those reasons. There's fun to be had, and we will discuss all that.
I have lots of things to say about this.
There's a lot to say about it.
Oh yes.
But no, this is the type of thing. I think this is the. It's not the Goosebumps. It's the Are You Afraid of the Dark, like director or producer or someone who's worked on a bunch of those.
And it has
things.
that vibe.
It has that vibe, yes.
Even like the ways it fades to black for commercial breaks type of thing. Like,
yeah. So like I feel a like generalized nostalgia, but I have thoughts on Guttenberg, thoughts on this tower and the terrors within, like various ways stuff plays out. I found by the end things were happening. I was like, of course that's happening. I was just like, I was so like upset by everything.
Oh no, we will go into detail about the ending here. But so. I don't know that I'll give this a firm thumbs up for others to watch, but
we watched it, so
there's definitely some crap to talk about here that you might want to talk about with your friends and watch this yourself. But if you've seen it or don't care, false over to spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Tower of Terror. Let's jump right to the ending.
My favorite part of the whole movie.
I have so many questions that you can't answer. They're just questions.
I would love to answer all of them.
All right. How the fuck didn't she know the party was for her?
It's a surprise party. Next question.
So let's think about this rationally. At 8:05 or 8:15, whatever the fuck it was, the elevator stops, right? People are already up for the party. Presumably they've gone missing. Okay, it would take how long to realize they were missing? Anyone that was on the bottom floor would be like, okay, they just didn't. They're up there already. Anyone's up there would just know, oh, they didn't come up. So the party would continue. That would just happen, and eventually she would go up to the party.
So like, why did no one tell her that the party was?
Why didn't she go up? Wouldn't she be going up there too?
Because she was doing incantations and wanted to kill her, and then it didn't work, and she was like, uh-oh.
So let's play out her night. She does an incantation, doesn't know if it worked or not until she gets to the top, where they would be like, surprise, fucking old lady, it's your birthday. And then
even be a child, then.
Even if it's not, right?
Yeah.
No one ever said, oh, it was your party, it ruined your party. Like the movie posits this world where somehow at 8:05 the world ended and they closed the hotel immediately because you're like none of this makes sense. Like why would the ghosts be there waiting for them?
We've been waiting for you.
they all didn't die then. They went on and lived their lives, and then maybe for the sake of this, in the afterlife, they come back every now and again to like, you know, oh, okay, we're there waiting for you idiots, like as if it's a big thing in everyone else's life. It wouldn't be. So like, why are they even there? Then there's like this whole thing of this black magic that this 10-year-old knows. You're like, how did she learn black magic? Where did she get the book? How did she do any of this? Why does she even have a key to this hotel? Like, what?
No, absolutely.
And why would the book still be there?
I call forth the might of the starry realm to once again bring fire energy to pierce the night.
Again, positing that the hotel must have closed at 8:06 in 1939 to never be opened again, because the party streamers are still up. Everything is still exactly where it left that day, and that doesn't make any fucking sense.
I agree with you on like 90% of that. I think part of it is like there's a disaster that happens. I'm not sure what they think happened to those people.
They went missing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, it's like a famous disaster, so I think there was some...
Well, I think it's a famous mystery just because she was famous.
Like, even though it doesn't make sense how they would know or something, I think, like, that's okay, is that they would be like, uh-oh, the party's ruined, someone takes the kid and says, like, uh-oh, or whatever. But, I would say, I don't know why for the next 60 years no one tells her that was her party or
I think she would know right then, because, like, why was she not going up with her sister in the first place?
But even because she was trying to kill her. She didn't.
But she seemed to be mad because they forgot her birthday. But her birthday wasn't over yet. It's such an over-exaggeration of what your opinion should be about the situation.
That's just like a kid being a kid.
Well, and then there's the flip side of like, okay,
I get you on like,
it all ends, and like, you know, of course you get this thing where, oh, she now becomes a child too, and they go off into the afterlife, and I'm like, okay. So the happy ending is she dies right then for her sins.
Okay, listen.
Becomes a child and goes into the afterlife.
So the old lady dies, disappears into like stardust in the elevator. I think, okay, so like they're gone. But then the little kid, Sally, her sister, is back up on top.
Yeah.
Where she disappears again.
Absolutely, genuinely.
Then she's back. For like a third time with the kid version of Abigail.
Hey.
Who's now been like recreated or something like that, just so they can now live forever. So her whole wasted life has been like mulliganed away, and now she's a kid again, but dead.
Well, it had to have at least in some way mulliganed all of them, because every ghost that's up there waiting for them is the age they were when they should have been coming off. Like, they didn't get to go off and do their thing.
I have no idea.
It's very strange. Even the timeline of that, like his grandfather is the bellhop, and his great-great-grandfather built the place. And I'm like, okay, so in 1939 that happened. Let's say he was born that day that his grandfather went missing.
Like,
he seems to be like 50 years old, and I'm like, it's only been 59 years, so
I didn't even...
My great-granddaddy built this place.
That means...
That means my grandpa was Dewey Todd.
I didn't even think that all those people up there were like other ghosts. I thought it was like the ghost of the party almost. They're like
kind of,
or like a thing for the ghosts to be able to.
But like his grandfather's there and says like, "Oh, hey, Jim. Oh, that's my great grandfather."
Yeah,
like,
well, I don't think that's his actual grandfather or something.
Dewey.
Great granddude?
You don't think?
Sure. I don't know.
I think the movie's too dumb for it not to be.
Yeah, by that point I was already done with everything. So I wasn't even thinking about the peculiarities of that. It just seemed like we have to get to the party, so like a party materializes, which they fulfill their like whatever thing. Everything like that I hate in like things that are good, where it's like, oh, we have to finish the thing that they started.
To break the loop.
We have to do the thing.
Or complete the loop.
I always hate that, unless it's brilliantly done with multiple perspectives and you don't understand until the end, but then you realize you knew all along.
Now, far less than brilliant,
not
for
what's
sure
in
in
here,
this.
definitely.
But like, it has some notable people.
Before we move on, though, because we may not get back to the end.
Probably not.
The ghosts are going to go up to the party.
knew you'd help us.
Come with us to the party.
Yeah.
And they're like, come on into the elevator. And Guttenberg says, we'll take the stairs.
We'll take the stairs.
Next stop, the Tip Top Club. Going up.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's hilarious. So then they're just going to walk out of the elevator. That's just an expression. Like, we're not coming with you. Don't be ridiculous. They run up the stairs.
They do take the stairs.
They
yeah.
run up the stairs to then be with them at this ghost party for like a
Yeah.
little while, which I was so shocked by. I'm like, what's going on?
I do wonder, so the ghosts themselves get stuck at floor 11. They can't
Yeah.
get to 12 because of the curse or whatever.
Here we go again.
Because the elevator itself has to be what takes them. But the
Yeah.
party is happening, and it is accessible by the stairs. So I wonder, since these people are not restricted, could any year humans have gone up to floor 12 during this party and seen the party
Like,
happening?
seeing the party?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's why it's very convenient. Like all these kids type stories like this, they have to have a thing where the guy says, I'm too scared to go in there. Oh, no
Yeah.
one's allowed in there. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, I don't know. And this weird thing where like no one could have ever done that,
Yeah.
right? So we don't have to answer the question.
I thought you said the place was haunted.
It is. I've never been inside.
You've never been inside?
No way, dude. It's haunted.
The young Shirley Temple character here, she is the sister from Boy Meets World.
We have to get to the party.
Morgan,
Topanga?
No,
I have no idea what's going on.
I think her name was Morgan, and she wasn't in the whole show. It's one of those things where they write a character off and they're just gone.
That whole show was a write-off for me.
The singer girl, who I have to wonder, was she ghost cheating on that guy? Because it seemed like she and Guttenberg were like getting ready to get into it.
I'm not all that beautiful, and I'm a lousy actress.
Don't say that. You just haven't caught the right break.
And then she's like getting proposed to, and I'm like, oh, they're
Yeah.
together. It's forever, I guess. Okay,
That felt
cool.
like a weird papering over too, because
Yeah.
like he calls her out like you were smitten with him,
I thought maybe he could help us.
You thought he was cute.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, they're not a couple. And then it's like, oh, at the end they're like, wait, no, what? Okay.
Oh, they are.
Will you be my bride?
And I guess it's just like, well, he's dead, so it's not going to work between us. So whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll settle for him, which is awful. But yes.
But the singer girl who finally gets her shot, she is in two ways famous. One, she is the singer from The Rocketeer in the club.
When you're alone, who cares for starlit sky?
Nice.
But she's also Jan from The Office, which is an arguably much bigger role for her.
Why is this so hard? That's what she said. Oh my God, what am I saying?
Michael's love interest / boss.
Oh my God, she is Jan from The Office.
Yeah.
Jan? Whatever. She's from The Office.
Is she?
I don't know if you knew this, but
I did not
the one
know.
who sings the ghost. You don't know who's the ghost at first?
Oh.
That's great. Okay.
Do you know who the grandfather is?
Grandfather. The one that shakes his hand for 2 seconds?
The little guy, bellhop.
The bellhop.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the Monopoly guy.
When I was alive, there wasn't much I did that turned out right.
Well, what you've definitely seen him in is Tammy the T-Rex, but he's also Isaac from The Love Boat. No, I'm just kidding. He's
Where are
Children
we?
of the Corn.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Checking in.
Children of the Corn is very fuzzy. I have no idea about that movie.
Okay, but you
anymore,
relatively recently watched Tammy the T-Rex.
I am triangulating from other movies where
Mm-hmm.
you've said, it's Isaac, of course, and I've been like, yes, of course, and I have no idea who that is. Yes, got it.
Yeah. So like it does have some stars in here. The guy who plays the grandson who fixes the elevator, I want to say he was in Richie Rich.
Flashlight. Keenbean, are you okay?
Richie, you wouldn't believe what they did to me. It was inhuman. No! Wait.
Where's Van?
He is one of those character actors that I love.
He looks so much like another guy.
Yes.
There's a guy that was like in Seinfeld, like pulls his eyelashes out to try to curse Kramer.
How do you like this?
I like it a lot.
Go!
And I always get the two of them confused.
Maybe I am getting him confused with it. Because I feel
Like
like
the guy from Identity.
Well, yeah, that's the other guy who I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say. Yeah, but that's not this guy.
I get them confused, but I don't think so.
Good. Okay. No, I was gonna say because I remember the guy from Identity and a bunch of stuff. Constantine, right? That guy's awesome. He's not this guy. He's another guy who plays similar roles. I think he's in more kids stuff, kind of more like this.
He reminds me of Dom DeLuise.
These are my car keys. Over here is a surprise. You know what I mean?
I'm not worried about my keys.
He's a big jolly guy. He was great. He was the highlight of the movie for me.
He's pretty good.
I liked him a lot. When there's a point where I was like, I could have been an actor, you know. Can't act though. I was like, that's great. He's
You know, I could have been an actor.
Oh.
Except I can't act.
great.
Yeah.
It's funny.
He's a very matter-of-fact delivery kind of guy,
Yeah.
and I enjoy that when given the right lines. We watched La Valantula, that stars Steve Guttenberg, and his love interest from this as love interest in that as well. So like, there's a crossover between those two characters.
That's her?
Yeah. She's much better and has better stuff to do in La Valantula than this,
Yeah.
but in this, she's a career woman.
You mess with the wrong house.
So let's take a pit stop here and talk about La Valantula. La Valantula would come out like 20 years after this, 18 years after this, right? Very long time after this.
Sure.
So when I watched that, and like La Valantula is better than a lot of the stuff we watch. It had a certain fun to it, beyond what you would usually get. But I was like, Guttenberg sucks, right? I was like, I don't like him at all in this. His acting style, he's washed up. He can't do it anymore, whatever. He is literally exactly the same as he is in this movie. He hasn't changed at all. That's just his style. I just didn't know that.
I happen to really like Guttenberg.
You love Guttenberg.
I think he's great.
Something about his delivery I just hate. He's always like yelling and it always goes up at the end. He's very like the same.
You nearly got her head cut off.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Trish. It's not dangerous this time. There's nothing sharp, I swear.
I don't want to shatter the Guttenberg for you, but like I think I've only seen him in stuff. Like I thought Mahoney, I thought the Police Academy, that he was doing a character there. But I'm like, I think that's just always what he does, and I don't like it. Which is we can differ on that aesthetically or something. I don't know.
He had an accent in in The Big Green.
Can you also do me another small personal favor?
Oh, anything pretty much.
That's something.
I don't know The Big Green, so
It's a
I may have
Soccer
just not
Sandlot-esque
seen a
movie.
lot of movies that he's in.
Yeah.
But my small sample size, I'm like, I know.
Yeah. The Goot, A+ in my book.
You've got to forget everything else I've ever pitched you. I've got something that's going to blow you away.
Best dated effect in this movie is definitely when the nanny comes out of the mirror and she's like,
Oh, dated effect.
Yeah.
I thought you said data effect.
Best data effect.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's really dated. It does have that Goosebumps vibe to it. But like, there's something about those moments where I'm like, yeah.
You're nostalgic for these.
Yeah,
moments.
like it's fun. Like you don't see crap like that anymore for probably a good reason. But
my favorite
it's charming.
My favorite effect is not an effect. It's when Kirsten Dunst is in looking at something and the camera's moving across and it goes across the pillar where you just see shoes and hear like a guttural noise, some weird like crazy ghost noise for no reason.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what? Yes.
There's some weird stuff like the headless meat cleaver guy and bullshit trying to scare him.
It's a dummy.
The effect of like singing in the rain with like the digital green screen bleed rain where you're like, is this what you were trying to do or is this a happy accident? We're like, that looks good enough. Because they do like the green smoke outside like as the storm, like, so I'm like, okay, I guess you could let green screen bleed be part of your aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, and this is a neat little attempt, maybe, to do something similar to Beetlejuice, where it's like, we're ghosts, we're just normal good people ghosts, but we're going to try to haunt. Like, how do we do that? I don't know, be headless? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
They thought we scared them off.
We tried. Carolyn keeps intervening.
And they're like trying to scare them away and everything.
No, that's pretty much exactly it.
Except,
yeah, it's a great comparison.
Except Beetlejuice is all the way up here, and this is like, I can barely tell what's happening.
Well, it's a movie based on a ride.
You're in for the elevator ride of your life.
And they tried this with a bunch of things, and like, you know, this is not the most successful one. Obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean, the most successful. The Country Bear is a flop. This was a flop.
Country Bears was great.
What else did we have?
Christopher Walken's in Country Bears. It's great.
I think there's 2 other movie rides that also did not do well.
Is Tomorrowland, does that count? And then there's
that came out much later, though.
There's an old one, too. Something like that. What is a ride, anyway?
Well, this is just a drop. But
so
most
you're not
of this
even riding, you're just
most
falling.
of this is filmed at the ride.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like they got a lot of their locations out of the way just by
Whoa.
having this thing already built.
I didn't know what the Tower of Terror even was, so this is what it is, I guess. No, that's crazy, because I was like, this must even suck for that, because they're just at some stupid hotel. Like, yeah.
Could we do this? I don't want to be in... Did you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
I like the look of it. I like that old school vibe. I think a lot of that is fun. Like, you know, it is a higher production Goosebumps movie, but it is still like a Goosebumps movie. So, you know, you get what you get. But I think pound for pound with the amount of stars here, there's going to be someone that you're probably like, oh, I like that person. Oh, that person's in this? Let me check that out. So, like, it has that kind of thing going for it. And just the amount of sheer questions I walk away with, I think that it's like, for the what? Like, it has that kind of element too.
Yeah, so you talked about the Goot, right? He's trying to get his career back in order, you know?
Yeah.
Which ends up being a really weird, where like he's writing his news story kind of at gunpoint. She's like over his shoulder, like forcing him to write. And
Jill, I don't feel right about this. I promised Anna.
Look, stop with the ghost stuff. You gotta write the story.
then he decides to go back and save the paranormal aspect instead or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the time pressure there, what was going on.
Well, they had only
Halloween.
until 8:05.
No, the time pressure on the paranormal part makes perfect sense.
I believe they had till 8 o'clock to get it into the pressing for the next day. So I think their goal was presumably
it's Halloween.
Her
it's the
birthday
anniversary.
was yesterday, so we have to do it today. Like it would have already been late. Like it should have came out that day.
That's
if
what
you
I
were
was
actually going to try to get this thing
That's
done.
what I was trying to say.
And,
is, like,
and they
it's
don't
not a
have
tie-in
a
for the
late
time.
edition.
Right.
No, it's just for the sake of the movie. It doesn't actually serve any purpose in world.
Yeah.
I do like his career before this better. I like him being that like, oh, I make these fake articles for like, this bullshit news, this, that, whatever. I think that's fun. I do question, there's a scene earlier on where it's like a doctor doing an autopsy on like an alien thing. And I'm like, was he about to cut the head off the prop? Like, why would he do that? Anyway. It just seems like such a weird thing. Like, you're an actor, you would do what you're told. And it's for not even video, it's for photograph. You wouldn't have to be doing anything crazy aggressive. So how Kirsten Dunst only gets her head removed, beyond me, that's just because it was on the paper. It doesn't make any sense.
Kirsten Dunst is the precocious niece who helps him film or photograph his wacky fake photos. But yeah, I don't understand why.
It's a cool story that people care about, and it could get Uncle Buzz back into a real newspaper. Please.
Please.
This is a typical like kid thing, right? I lack the energy to even like engage with it because I'm like, they said, oh, you could have done this, and I'm like, that at no point could that have happened. What are you talking about? And it's all fake thing after fake thing, right? It's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with the mom that's like not involved and like, oh, I'm the lazy uncle. I'm reading a thing while you're all doing work. I'm scratching my face with a fucking gardening claw. Like he has it like in his mouth and shit. I'm like,
It can only be counted by its contrary. Who writes this stuff?
Merlin, would you try to conjure me up a little help here?
It's a great story.
what's happening, Mahoney? What are you doing?
They were like, just do anything. We'll film it.
This has been dirt.
Yeah, you see the budget on this, I believe.
What was it?
I saw $500,000.
$500,000. Oh.
I mean, they say estimated, and I feel like it's hard to find based on how it's listed.
$500,000 is a crazy shock. But I wonder if some of that's like when you look at really low budget movies, and it's like, oh, this movie only cost us $2,300. But my effects buddy over there did $3.5 million worth of work, pro bono, like because they own the set and
I feel like there's a huge,
actors working for Disney, and a lot of these guys are not big yet.
I feel like there's a huge machine making all these different movies for Disney at the time, and maybe it's $50,000 because it was
like when you own an effects house and you tell someone to do that. If that guy's already salaried, does that count towards your budget? How does that work? I don't know.
I don't know, and I'm not sure if
I do wonder about things like that actually.
Yes, I don't know if that meant because it's like, oh, oh, it costs this much to make this. Why? Because it's $2,000 a day to rent this studio space, and we just did it there. And you're like, what? No. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm not sure if that was the budget for this exact film, though. I just saw it somewhere on the page and was like, okay, grab that. But
if true, though, in any way, that would be very impressive.
Yeah, I would love to know more about this being made and how this whole thing happened or whatever, or with a machine that was churning these things out or something, right?
Michael Eisner, I think.
It's an interesting thing.
Would have been the boy then, just cracking shit out.
I don't know.
Couple things that I do love that I want to make sure before we're not just shitting on the movie.
Nice.
I love the old lady. She's just in the token grandma outfit. Where you're like, no one owns that.
Oh, you look exactly as I had pictured.
How do you have that? What is this thing? Especially for someone who's been locked up since 1940. Where would you even acquire such things?
Right. She looks like she's like, we have to go back to the Titanic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
She turns out to be like crazy, and she's like the laces out dude from Ace Ventura. She's got like the scratched out eyes and the heads off this and this and that, and all the writing, crazy stuff.
And like a very powerful witch.
Yes.
Which is another.
Since she was 10 years old, which is very impressive. I love our reporter just immediately snooping, finding the trunk, finding the secret passage, like all that shit. I don't know how she would get like how do you get literally anything if you've been in an insane asylum since you were 10? Like all the furnishing have to be supplied to you. Like, how would you have...
Oh, my. Oh.
Did you know about these?
I knew she had issues. She had to work through them.
You call these issues?
Oh, this is very disturbing to me.
Pictures and dolls and cut-up things and this and that. Like, all that stuff, I'm like, okay, since we've already hand-waved everything else in the movie, I can hand-wave that, too.
We can hand-wave it, but yeah, I like this idea that it was the old style of doing that, where someone could be like, he's been institutionalized for this long. Like, I don't know if that happens anymore. Like who's getting the bill? Is the estate of Little Orphan Annie paying the bill for the whole thing?
And that's honestly certainly possible, because
I hope so.
All of her money probably would have already been going to the parents. When the parents died, it would have left to her. She was that famous to be in this position where the world knows about her. Yes, they probably have a little bit of money, because she is in a very nice assisted living facility.
She has like an apartment.
Yeah. It's very nice.
It's a nice whole thing.
Since last spring?
Oh, my dear, Abigail's been a patient here since spring of 1940.
The best line in the film is from the Goot himself, where he was like, the guy's looking for reassurance on his acting ability. He goes, oh, he's like, well, he's like, I hate doctors, and right now I hate you, so you're doing great.
Did you believe I was like a real doctor?
Oh, absolutely, because I hate doctors, and right now I hate you. Incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, great.
Did a great job. Yeah, because he's like, oh, let me know like how I did in it there.
Yeah, that part's great.
Guy.
No, what? No, this is like national headlines.
Nope.
Okay. Hey.
Other than that, there's nothing.
What do you mean?
My last thing was saying the good things in the movie.
Oh, no.
A spell can be countered by its contrary. Abigail, what is the contrary to this spell?
I like the part where the Goot, thinking fast on his feet, asks Ghost Sally what she thinks about her sister.
If you could talk to Abigail, what would you tell her?
I'd tell her I'm sorry.
Right? Because that could have backfired horribly. It could have been like, she sucks, she tried to kill me. But she could have said whatever, anything. But she was like, oh, she's my best friend. I was going to give her this. Oh, I'm so pissed. And then the old lady's like, oh, there and the whole thing. It's a whole moment. Yeah.
But with how frank she talks, you'd think like, how would you not know any of these things? Like, it's such a, the plot is just written so, oh, it doesn't have to be good. This is for children. They're stupid, idiots. Let's eat the shit up. And I did as a kid, so that's true. But it's also very insulting.
No, because that's I'm a huge defender of animated stuff or things, even if they were intended for kids, can still be great. But a lot of stuff, when they're made for kids, they say oh, who cares? We'll just it doesn't matter. Just film it. Done.
Yeah.
Right? Which is making it bad. It's not making it for kids. It's
sure, but it's also how you make a movie on such a tight budget.
If that was the budget, yes.
We only have 4 seconds to write a script. It's about a ride where you drop. It doesn't have to be good.
But shouldn't there have been, if I wanted to make a movie about a ride where you drop, right, we would have had more drops in there. It was like you know,
I think the fact that we had one, honestly,
was huge.
Well,
Okay.
you only get one on the actual ride, so only one in the actual movie.
Yeah, but I wanted like someone could have been having like a recurring nightmare about it and not know why, because the haunting of the thing, like some crazy thing.
Maybe
going
that
on.
was why the guy doesn't go in there anymore. Oh, I don't go in there; it's haunted.
Yeah.
I went in the elevator and it dropped 11 stories. Never again.
Well, it seems like, you know, you want to get all the drops in there, you can. You want, or like the height,
it's not really a horror movie.
or the heightness or something. Well, like when you make pirates, you put pirates everywhere because you don't. You're like you wouldn't have the whole movie just not have pirates. Put pirates at the end. Right?
The ride is the tower, and the tower, you know, hotel is in the whole movie. So like that would be your pirate.
Do you go up the stairs and like see all the set dressing in the tower?
I've never been on the ride myself. I've only seen it through the eyes of the Channel 7 shows that all go on all those things.
Talking out of your ass.
There was a time period where ABC sent like every one of their like, you know, TGIF like, you know, shows to Disney World. You had Urkel there, you had Step by Step, you had all these things. And they went on these different rides and you got to experience it for the first time as a kid who didn't go to Disney World, except for when I was like fucking 2. Who the fuck takes a kid when they're 2?
And then for the rest of your life, you've already been. And you're like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, I hate rides. I've never been on any. I've been on rides, but I don't like them. I didn't like theme parks. I don't like going to places. So
I would have loved, I think, the cool ones that don't exist anymore, like you know, the Jaws ride or the King Kong or you know, what is it, the fucking earthquake fucking ride, or all that bullshit at Universal. They're like, no, it's like fucking Harry Potter or some shit, and I'm like, fuck you off.
Why are there new kids who like new things? Screw 'em.
Well, certain things seem timeless, and I guess they are not, and that is the problem. But like the E.T. ride, like things like that would have been very cool, I think, forever, because these are movies that are going to be, you know, in the top 100s like forever. So the idea of replacing those with like, oh no, this is now Trolls World Tour land, and I'm like, this will not be talked about in 4 years. Why is this a thing?
That sounds great. We missed that one earlier though. They also made a movie out of the E.T. ride. I couldn't do it.
We're done. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Later, you're the best.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only